Whether you're a licensed provider, licensed exempt, or just getting started in the field, understanding your rights is essential to protecting yourself, your business, and the families you serve. We encourage all of you to stay during this portion of the training. Next slide, please. Regardless of your immigration status, you have rights. This training is designed to equip you with knowledge about your legal rights, including topics such as what you need to do and what to do when encountering immigration officers, the police, or the FBI in different places. Things for you and your family to remember in any situation, and how to protect yourself and others in your workplace during a raid. All of this information will be shared in the chat and can be shared with families you work with. For your protection, please do not share any personal information regarding immigration status during this meeting. Next slide, please. During this presentation, we will be referring to Know Your Rights card often. This card is intended to help you remember and express your rights during a raid or other interaction with police, immigration officers, or the FBI. Next slide, please. What you need to know. To enter a home, immigration officers or the police need either a valid warrant signed by a judge or a magistrate, or permission from the occupant. Without a valid warrant signed by a judge, the occupant does not have to open the door. Opening the door could mean giving the officers permission to enter the home. Now, it's important to highlight that a warrant does not mean the occupant has to answer questions. If immigration officers or the police are questioning the occupant and he and she or they wish to remain silent, they should say out loud, "I wish to remain silent," or show the officials the Know Your Rights card. What to do? Foremost and very important, do not open the door. Ask for identification. Officers may try to trick, frighten, or intimidate you to get into your house. Look through a window to see their identification. Do not be caught off guard and open the door. Ask the officials if they have a warrant. If the officials do not have a warrant, they do not have the right to enter your home. You can ask them to leave. If the officials have a warrant, you have a right to see it. Ask the officers to slide the warrant under the door or put it up to your window. Remember, do not open the door. Read the warrant carefully. There are different types of warrants. What to do will depend on what type of warrant it is. Each warrant must have certain information. If the warrant does not have the information that is required, it is not valid. This means the officers do not have authority to enter your home. Very, very important. Warrants may look different depending on your state or location. We are now going to review examples of the different types of warrants. As we go through them, keep in mind that the most important factor is whether the warrant includes the necessary information to make it valid, not just the type of warrant itself. Let's take a look. Next slide, please. A valid search warrant must meet the following. Must be signed by a judge, justice of the peace, or magistrate. It must state the address of the home to be searched. It must also state in detail the area to be searched. In some cases, search warrants may be many pages long, describing locations to be searched. If the officer does not have a valid warrant, you can say, "This is not a valid warrant. You may not enter my home. Please leave." If the officer has a valid warrant, You must allow them to enter your home. When they enter your home, say, I do not consent to you searching my home. This should limit where they are allowed to search. Observe where the officers search. Observe if they search in areas they do not have permission to search in the warrant. Repeat that you do not consent to the search. If an officer takes any of your property, ask for a receipt. Next slide, please. A valid arrest warrant must meet the following. Must be signed by a judge, justice of the peace, or magistrate. Must state the name of the person to be arrested. Must describe the person to be arrested. Now, if the officer does not have a valid warrant, you can say, this is not a valid warrant. You may not enter my home. Please leave. If the officer has a valid arrest warrant and the person named in the warrant is home, that person should go outside to meet the officer. Close the door behind them. And if the person named in the warrant is not home, tell the officer that the person is not there and do not open the door. A warrant of removal or deportation does not give an officer the right to enter your home. Say, you do not have the right to enter my home with this warrant. Please leave. Next slide, please. Here on the screen, you can see examples of different types of warrants. The first one to your left is a judicial warrant. Notice that it includes a judge's signature, which is what makes it legally valid. Next slide, please. Now, on this slide, you are looking at an example of an administrative warrant. Next slide, please. What you need to know. To enter a workplace, immigration officers or the police need either a valid warrant or the permission of the employer. Never instruct workers to run either before or during an enforcement action. If workers run, it may lead to the worker being arrested or detained. Now remember, a warrant does not mean you have to answer questions. If immigration officers or the police are questioning you and you wish to remain silent, say out loud that you wish to remain silent or show the officials your Know Your Rights card. Have an emergency plan with your coworkers. Use a workplace checklist to help you prepare. Today, we will talk generally about workplaces. In the future, we will be sharing more information specific to family childcare workplaces. Next slide, please. What to do? Very important. Make sure to have an emergency plan in place with any workers in your workplace in the event of a raid. If you are the employer, you should speak with the officers. In the event you are not the employer and the employer is not present, or if your employer has given permission to the officers to enter, have the person you have chosen to speak with, officers in a raid, ask for identification. Remember, the officers may try to trick, intimidate, or frighten you. The person speaking to the officer should read the warrant carefully and determine if it is valid. If the officers enter your workplace, you have the right to remain silent. Do not provide any information about your immigration status, where you were born, or how or when you came to the United States. Do not show any documents from your home country. Say out loud if you wish to remain silent, or show the officer your Know Your Rights card. If the officer searches you, arrests, or detains you, remain calm. Do not fight back. If you're searched, say, I do not consent to this search. Next slide, please. What I'm about to mention is very important as this is what you need to know. If you have the right to call your consulate. You have the right to remain silent. Being detained does not mean you have to answer questions. You have the right to speak to an attorney or accredited representative. You or a family member must contact the attorney or accredited representative. This will not be provided for you automatically. You have the right to refuse to sign anything before speaking with your attorney or accredited representative. When you speak to an attorney or the accredited representative, it is essential that you tell them about any prior arrests or criminal history, in addition to your immigration information. A person at risk of deportation should never visit a detention center or voluntarily interact with immigration officers. What to do? If you are detained, first thing, request a phone call so that you can call your emergency contact. Call your consulate for assistance. Do not provide any information to anyone other than your attorney or accredited representative about your immigration status, where you were born, how when you came to the United States, or your criminal background. Say out loud if you wish to remain silent or show your Know Your Rights card. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to refuse to sign anything before speaking with your attorney. If you are being asked to sign something, say simply, I will not sign anything until I speak with my attorney or my accredited representative. Ask questions if you do not understand what you are being asked to sign. Request a copy of your notice to appear, also known as your NTA, and all other documents for your case. A notice to appear includes information about the charges against you and information about when you must appear in court. You can request to be released on a bond. This means that you are requesting to be released until your hearing. Only a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident can post bond for you. And if you are told that you do not qualify, you can request a bond hearing with an immigration judge. Make sure to request your own copy of all documents your attorney or accredited representative submits to the judge as part of your case. Our team is putting further resources in the chat for numbers to call for rapid response support and a family preparedness plan. All the resources from today can be shared with families. We will continue developing these resources, especially resources specific to family child care. And we are at the end. This concludes our intro to